I got into mountain biking because I wanted to spend more time with my Uncle Dennis. He was a get out and go kind of guy, and I just loved being around him. And he would do these big 3-hour mountain bike rides in the Crockett Hills, one of the local parks in our area. It was 3 hours that I could just get to go spend with him and hang out and talk and have fun and get my butt kicked so much more fit and so much more fit. My name's Brian Kennedy. I grew up in Fairfield, California. I live in Vallejo, California, which is about 10 minutes away. I've lived within the 10-minute radius of my family my whole life. My job is a strange hybrid of YouTubing and mountain biking. It's probably more YouTubing. It's probably more doing a TV show. When people ask me what I do for a living, I usually lately lie to them and tell them I do something not YouTube related. I don't want to get into a 20-minute conversation with the Uber driver. How does that make money? What is that? How does that work? We should all know how YouTube works by now.
This is my 2019 Ram ProMaster van. It's been converted into a camper, and this year I'm gonna take this thing up and down the lower 48. I'm gonna try to ride every single one of the United States this year on my mountain bike.
Smooth as fast. Oh, my friends, it's time for another big time adventure in British Columbia. Oh yeah. Oh boy, we are back in the saddle again. It's the 7th day of riding here in Peru. I am on a vacation in the beautiful Spanish Pyrenees, where you can go faster. Ooh.
My friends, good morning from our 91-acre parcel of raw land here in Northern California.
All right, let's take a little tour of the whole thing here. Well, not the whole thing, but some of the things. So this is our future hot tub and swimming pool combination, which eventually will be really cool. So this is our confidence course area. We have the pump track, which is a super hard pump track. So I said we should call it the Ring of Fire because it's just so hard. When we bought this place 2.5 years ago, there was nothing here. It was literally raw land. So we do have other activities besides just biking, a little axe throwing. There was kind of a half-ass road that's dirt and spongy and terrible. Everstoke would not have been possible without the van. I'm loaded down with quite a lot of lumber. I hope we can make it to the top. And I definitely use the van to haul around a ton of materials. I can fit 10 feet of lumber in the back. Most truck beds today are like 6 feet long. You got all that stuff hanging out. So this is my current labor of love here. The observation deck, soul shine point is what we like to call it. It's just the most beautiful, amazing view on the whole property. So surprised when we found this because there's so many trees everywhere. Just absolutely spectacular. It was amazing. I had to build a deck on this thing. Sleeping here every night, I would have had to pitch a tent and just suffer through the cold, not be comfortable. I would have had to build some shanty cabin or something. But because I've had my van, I can just go out, work all day. So this is my Wayfarer van, 99,000 miles and 4 years later and 49 states later. I've got all my magnets here to commemorate every state I've been to, and I lost New Hampshire along the way somewhere, but I still went there. I had to take the roof out. Long story short, a mouse got into the van, was scratching all night, took days to catch it. I got my van in late 2019, fully outfitted and ready to go because I knew at the start of 2020, I was gonna embark on the 50-state shred. I was gonna try to take the van through all of the lower 48 states, ride my mountain bike in every single state, fly to Hawaii, fly to Alaska.
My friends, it is time to kick off the 50-state road trip.
So on paper, you've got 50 states, you got 52 weeks in the year, you gotta knock out about 1 state per week.
The plan is to be out on the road for about 5 weeks, then head back home and reset and recalibrate.
But man, having the van and just going out and going hard, I would knock out 5 states in 1 week, easy.
California, they call it the Golden State. And today I'm riding at Rockville Hills Park, my local trails. I've done many videos here. I've made it to state number 2 of 50, Arizona. They call it the Grand Canyon State. After a nice little drive from Arizona yesterday, I have made my way to Texas, state number 3 of 50. I'm in Louisiana. This is state number 5. Louisiana and Mississippi were the #1 states that I was worried I wasn't gonna be able to find anything decent. Man, we got a downhill here. Just me and my watermelon. I've been chewing on it all day long. I got one little slice left. Let's get another adventure started here today in Alabama, state number 10. I am wearing shorts, and that can only mean one thing. I've made it to Florida. I have made my way to New Hampshire. I have made my way to Vermont, wild and wonderful West Virginia. To state number 32 of the 50-state shred.
It's time to get out and ride something new once again.
Moving right along, only 18 to go. To South Dakota, Colorado,
I'm in Michigan,
I'm in North Carolina,
outside of
Ann Arbor, I'm in Georgia, state number 12. I am waking up on Teton Pass this morning in Wyoming.
Wow. Uh-oh.
Washington, finally, the top left.
Yeah.
My friends, I have made my way to Oregon, state number 49 on the 50-state shred. Holy moly, look at this map. It is completely filled in for the lower 48. Only 1 more state to go. Who knows if I'll actually make it there, but Hawaii is waiting.
The biggest highlight of the 50-state shred was riding in Georgia and meeting my wife Sarah for the first time.
We got Brian leading the way. He set this up. We got Dan, and we got Sarah.
She's ripping.
It was love at first sight, of course, and we had our relation during the pandemic, which is on hard mode, as many of you know, and we survived it, we got married, and we live happily ever after. For years on my videos, I would get comments from people saying, you need to get a van, you need to get a van. So when my Uncle Dennis died, that kind of finally gave me permission to be like, I'm gonna get a van, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna go see all the 50 states, and I'm gonna do all this stuff and go, go, go. And the van was just a natural component of being able to do that. When I think about simplicity in my life, it's getting home after a big trip and having a big pile of laundry, dishes, all these things to clean in my house. And that weighs on me so much because I also have a bunch of videos to edit and I gotta do the trash and I gotta go to the UPS store and pick up my mail. And that's what's magical about going out in the van. None of that stuff exists. Being well-traveled, to me is just that you make the most of your time. I think back to my Uncle Dennis. He did one international trip in his life. He went to Ireland, but that guy was well traveled. He would get in his car every weekend and go take his whole family up the coast, down the coast, to Wyoming, to Utah. They went everywhere. It's not like a bucket list thing of like, oh, I've been to all 50 states, oh, I've been to 200 countries. It's that you make the most of your time. Even if you're going to the same place over and over. One of my big philosophies in life that's stuck with me for as long as I can remember is you get out what you put in. Whenever I feel like I'm not getting results in life, it's like, are you really putting in all the effort you should be putting in? Are you really thinking about this problem as hard as you should be thinking about it? So for me, it's like been the overarching theme of my life. You get out what you put in. So this is Everflow. This is our top tier trail, an amazing flow trail that just snakes down the entire mountain. It's the culmination of everything Aaron, the master trail builder, my business partner out here, has learned over building out here for the past 2 years, and it is awesome. So this trail is called Beer Run. It connects right to the brewing layer next door, the brewery. It's the guests' favorite trail. So this is the newest discovery on the property, an apple tree that was just loaded for bear with apples. So I had to put a game camera down here. You can kind of see stuff on this little screen, but it's much better to get the card and bring it back to the computer. So the idea is you come in really hot, you jump over the top, you land on this thing, and then you come up here and fly over here. And originally, I think this was just an empty gap. Or maybe that one over there was an empty gap. One of them was an empty gap and it was terrifying. It still is terrifying. Yeah, they're not that bright. That's funny.